Hello. Hi, Nikhila.
Hi, Rameshkar.
Okay. I will share my screen.
Yeah.
Hope you are able to see it.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, what we discussed in the last class.
We have started a topic about functions, and uh, we are discussing about how to define a function in 4 ways.
Correct. We can define as a statement,
Uh, we can define as a
expression.
statement, as an expression, nested function, and constructor function.
Correct. And later we saw how we can invoke a function, right?
Yes.
Okay. Invocation can be done in
In,
multiple ways. Okay.
in
We saw about as a statement,
function.
correct? As a
Yes.
method invocation, correct?
Yes.
And
Constructor
we need to
invocation.
see constructor invocation, and also we need to see how we can do it by using apply and bind, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this we will see in this class. Okay.
Okay.
So okay, before going to this behavior, okay, we
Okay.
have to go through the two concepts. First one is the default parameters, and next one is the rest parameters.
Okay.
Okay, what is the default parameters? Suppose for a function, okay, the function will allow the parameters, right? We
Yeah.
can have a number of parameters, we can write a function. Okay,
Mm.
suppose while calling the function, if we pass any parameter value object, right? Sorry,
Mm.
argument, what will happen?
Come again, sir.
But if, yeah, so we have a function sum
No.
a comma b, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it return me a plus b. Okay, while calling the function, is
Mm.
arguments are optional.
Um, no, I didn't know. And compulsory, right? We have to pass both the arguments.
Is it? If I
Yes,
call
that
like
is.
this, it won't work.
It will work.
Okay, then it is optional, right?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, what should be the value of a and b if we won't pass any arguments to our sum function?
Undefined.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, by default parameters, what we can achieve? We can achieve the default value for a parameter if the parameter value we will receive as a undefined. Okay, while
Mm.
anyone calling our function.
Mm.
Understood? Now what I will do, if I write like A is equal to 30, B is equal to 40. Okay, so now if you call this function, what should happen? For A and B, the values are undefined. So it will take the default value as 30 for A and B for 40. So you will get the result as a 70.
70.
Okay. Next, we can write the function expression as a default value. Okay, we can write expression also as a default value, or we can have a inline function call to get the default value of sum. For a parameter we can write. Okay, so let me do. Okay, first I will create function sum. A is equal to 20, B is equal to 30. Okay, so now I'm going to return A plus B. Now if we are going to call default params without passing any value, okay, we will get 50, right?
Yes.
I think it will go. Okay, so okay, we are getting 50. So next one, suppose if I define a function for my default parameter, right? So a function call, suppose if I write a function square, right? Okay, squares, I can say return 5 into 5. Okay, now what will happen? So whenever I'm going to call a function as a default params, here I will pass my function. Okay, so what will happen whenever it receives undefined for B, it will try to execute this function. Once this execution will happen, the result of the 5 into 5 will goes to the B, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so now if we refresh it, we can see 20 plus
25.
25 is 45, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next concept is rest parameters. Okay, by using the rest parameters, we can define variable length parameters. Okay, it allows us to define variable length parameters. So, suppose we have written this sum function, right? So this sum will work only for two numbers, right?
Yeah.
Suppose I want to write a sum function which allows me to take any number of parameters. Okay, we don't know how many parameters that the function will take to perform the sum of numbers, right? So it can be done for 2 or for 3, for 4, for 5. You can write any number of numbers, we can do it. So in order to achieve that, we have to use the rest parameters. Okay, the rest parameters will allow us to define any number of parameters. Okay, so how we have to define? Okay, rest parameter is indicated by 3 dots followed by the parameter name.
Okay.
Okay, I mean to say followed by 3 dots and name of the parameter.
Okay.
Okay, for this, how we can write function sum name of the parameter, correct? Okay, numbers. Okay, now what will happen whenever we call this function, right? So sum 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, in that case, what will happen? The numbers will combine all the arguments that we passed for the rest parameter as an array. Okay, the numbers are the rest parameter will act as an array and it combines all the arguments whatever we receive for the rest parameter. So now the numbers will become an array and its value is 10 comma 20 comma 30.
30.
Understood?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Like we can't we do, like, how do we write this function, sum function, like a plus b? No need of writing that.
Yeah, I will tell that logic how to sum numbers, right? So next, we have two restrictions are there.
Okay.
In order to define a rest parameters. Okay, there must be only one rest parameter for the function.
Okay.
Must be only one. Understood? If we have two, right, what will happen? We don't know at what range we have to take the values for the parameter. Yeah. So next point, that the rest parameter must be the last parameter.
Okay.
Okay, if we define as a first parameter, what will happen? Like this, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So for the compiler or the JavaScript interpreter, it doesn't know what value should I take for the initial value. Okay, it missed the range, right? So if we call like some 20, 30, 40, so the compiler or JavaScript interpreter, it doesn't know how many numbers it has to consider for the numbers test parameter. Okay, so we will see the example. Okay, now I'm going to create a function. Okay, I will make it as a rest parameter sum. Okay, what I will do? Numbers. Okay, I'm going to call this okay by passing 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, whenever we will execute, we will see the numbers will become an array, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I want to find the sum of these numbers, how we can do it? For int counter is equal to 0, counter less than numbers dot length, right?
Yes.
Counter increment. Okay, what I will do, I will take let sum is equal to 0. Okay, sum is equal to sum plus numbers of counter. Okay, I can just simply return it. Okay, now if we refresh it, and got expected identifier. Int is available? No, right?
No.
So we are getting sum is 140. Suppose if we try to make it as a first parameter, so what will happen? We will get an syntax error. Okay, rest parameter must be the last formal parameter. Okay, now what will happen? Does it will work?
No. Same syntax error.
Or is it?
Because there must be only one rest parameter.
Okay, how many we have?
2.
2.
Yeah.
2 or 1? Can I see once again?
We have 2
Okay, rest.
parameters. There is only one rest parameter.
Okay, is it okay to have like this function?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So the rest parameter must be the last parameter in our case. So it is a valid function. So now what will happen whenever we call this function? It considers the initial value as a 20. Other values will goes to the numbers array.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
Correct. So if you see, we can see 30, 40, 50 only will receive the numbers array.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we will go to the next concept called this part. This refers to an object in JavaScript. Okay, refers to an object which calls the function it contains. Okay, we can see the value of this at every line of JavaScript execution. Okay, at every line of JS execution. Okay, the value of this is decided based on how the code is going to be executed. Okay, by seeing the code, we won't be able to tell sometimes what is this behavior at that point of time. Okay, next point. It takes different values based upon the usage. Okay, what is the first one? First one, inside a method, how it behaves. Okay, second one, inside a function. Next, alone. Okay, next, in an event. Next, in call and apply methods. Apply and bind. Okay, we are going to see all. Okay, so the value of this will be based on the usage of the code how we are going to use. Okay, it differs from these contexts like inside a method how it behaves, inside a function, or alone, in an event how it behaves, in those methods call and apply and bind how it behaves, we are going to see. Okay, the first one is the global context. Okay, So what is the global context for our JavaScript?
Sure. Hello.
Okay. So whatever the code that we have written inside of the script tag, or whatever the code that we load by using script files or JavaScript files, right? Okay, those will act as a JavaScript code for our application.
Okay.
Correct? We can write some of the code as a function, correct? Or we can define some of the variables outside of the function, correct? Okay, whatever the variables or anything, whatever we declare, this, okay, it will refer global context to our JavaScript, okay, in our JavaScript. Okay, in the global context, this refers to the as a global object. Okay, in browsers, the window object is the global object. Okay, the window object is the global object. Okay, which means whenever we are going to call this in the global context, we will receive the window object. Okay, understood it?
Okay.
Now, let me file save as. Okay, now I'm going to print console.log of this. Okay, now is this statement is in the global context or not?
Yes.
Yeah, it is in the global context. So if we try to run this program, what will happen? It will print this, right? This value. So in the global context, we were saying this will be the window object, correct?
Yes.
Now you can see the window object here. Okay, inside window object, you will have lot of methods, correct?
Yeah.
And also you will have parameters like variables, screen x, screen y, scroll x, scroll y, and status, and some of the variables. Okay, next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one simple variable called a is equal to 100, right? Now, where this variable is available, it is available globally, right? Okay, if I'm going to print window.a, what we will get? We will get 100, right?
Yeah.
Since what are the variables that we are created by using var, it will attach to the window object, correct?
Yes.
Now, if I'm going to call the same one by using the this dot a, what will happen?
All these 100 only will get 100.
Correct. So this refers to the window object, right here.
Yes.
So it interprets like window.a, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, next. Suppose if I add one more variable, this dot b is equal to 1000. Now, if I'm going to print console.log window.b, what will happen? What should be the value of
1000?
1000? Why? So this will act as a window. Window.b is equal to 1000. Now you will get the 1000 value.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I am going to create one function, correct? Sum a comma b. Now, if I do console.log of this, right? So suppose if I call sum 10 comma 20, right? You will get the window object, right? So why we are getting window object? Indirectly we are calling window dot sum, right?
Yes.
Or it is something like this dot sum. Okay, this refers to the window object, right? So that's why you are getting window inside as a inside of our this statement inside of our function. Okay, next. Suppose in some cases we want to refer to the global this inside of any function, right? Okay, for that we have one property global this. Okay, by using this property we can get to the window object inside of our code, okay, wherever you run your application or in which context wherever you are. Okay, in any context always the global this will give the global this object, I mean to say window object. So if I print here global this, okay, we will see the window object. Okay, now okay, we'll come to this global this once we complete other features, right? How it behaves in a function and method. Okay, now next feature is the inside a functional, how it works. Okay, inside functional context, how it will works. Okay, inside a function, the value of this depends on the how the function is called. Okay, value of this depends on how the function is called. Okay, so suppose I will create a function f1. Just I am returning this here. Okay, so now if I am going to call f1, right, what it will print?
This.
Okay, always it will be this dot f1, correct?
Yes.
Now, if I call like this, what will happen? What f1 prints? What it returns?
Undefined.
Why? We are returning this, right?
Yeah, but we are not passing any value.
Okay. How does it matter for passing of arguments? It won't matter, right? So just we are returning this. Okay, so here, yeah, this dot f1 it will do, right, whenever we are trying to call. So where we are calling this function, in which context? In the global context, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, prior to this f1, did we attach any object, right? Any dot you find? No, right?
No.
Now this will convert as a this dot f1.
Okay.
Okay, now our this, what is our this here? Is the global window object, right?
Yeah.
So now if you see here, you can see the return value of f1 is a as a window object, correct?
Yes.
Now, what I will do, I will create one more object, okay, where person is equal to new person, or I can create like this, right? Okay, name, Raghavan is 50. Okay, now if I do console.log of person.f1, can I do like this?
Yes. But person is an object.
Now f1 we have to define inside of this, right? So what I will do, I will add one parameter called correct? Now anyway it will come as a some parameter. Okay, FUNC name. Okay, F1. So now if we refresh it, okay, so we have to refer the FUNC name. Okay. As a parameter, we have defined the function name, correct? Okay. See. So now function name we saw. For this object, we have a function f1. Now, if I am trying to call this function name or f1 by using the person object, right? So just I am referring the function name property inside of my person and I am calling that since it returns me a function, right? So I am calling this function name parameter. Now what will happen? What you will get as part of the this inside of the f1 person object, right? Are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, clear, right?
Oh, can you explain me again because your voice is gone.
Yeah, sure. Okay. What I'm saying, okay, this person dot function name property, right? So whenever we call this, it is trying to call this f1, correct?
Yes.
Now, what is the return type that we are returning from f1? This, right?
Yeah.
Now, what is the return value we got? We got as a person object, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now in this case, f1 will act as a method, right? Since
Yes.
it has inside of an object, correct?
Yes.
So, when calling a function as a method of an object, this refers to the object. Okay, this will be the method context, correct? Here, okay, as a method, whenever we call a function as a method of an object, this refers you are trying to call your method. Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, next we will see in an event how it will look. Okay, what is an event?
I don't know.
Okay, we will call event as some action, right? User perform.
Yeah.
Okay, event is an action that occurs as a result of the user or any other source, right? It can be any action that occurs on a
That occurs on
on a yeah, that occurs when user presses any key or any mouse clicked or anything, right? Those we will call it as a event, right? We can say it is a simply a user action. Okay, like open, close, right? Click. Like that we have some of the events, right? Key press. Okay, and mouse events, right?
Okay.
So what are the mouse events? Like if you do
Left click.
dragging and mouse click, mouse hold, right?
Yeah.
Those things will come as a mouse event. Okay, next, how this will behave in an event, right? Okay, whenever we click any button, okay, and an event will be raised. Okay, whenever we perform an action, one event is raised. Okay, like that we have clicked a button, one event is going to rise, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, if we want to perform any task when this button is going to be clicked, okay, we can write the task, whatever the task, if we want to achieve inside of the button click function, we can write it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, if we are using this inside of this function, okay, it will refer to the element which raises the event for this action. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean to say, whenever we raise an event, if we are trying to execute any function, right? So in that case, the this context of the function has the source of the event information. Okay, I mean to say from where the event has been occurred. Okay, it is occurred when the user performs the button click, correct?
Yes.
So now you will have a button click on this event. I mean to say the button information you will have inside of your function of the click event. Okay, so now what I will do, I will create one simple button, right? Button on click event we have, right? Okay, here what I will do, this dot style dot color is equal to green. I will do. Okay, now if we go to the our page, if we refresh it, Now if I click on this, what will happen? It has to change the color to green. Why it is not changing? Green is not defined. Okay. I think it changed, but we are not able to see, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now what happens? This becomes the, okay, on where the event has been raised. Okay, the event is raised for the button, right?
Yeah.
So now what happens? This will become this button object here. Okay, in JavaScript, every HTML element we can refer as an object, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, this refers to the button object. Okay. Now, whenever we are calling that button object dot style dot color, it will treat. Whenever we click on this change color button. So now what happens? It changes the color to red. Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will see this DOM, right? Document object model whenever we have a session.
Okay.
Okay, I may not give the in-depth DOM, but I will just go through the overview of it since we are into the React course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next we have call method.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. So call function, we can call the call method on any function. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It takes a number of parameters it takes. Okay. The first parameter will take this context for that function. Okay. The rest of the arguments, okay, being passed as a, we can pass as a comma separated list. Okay. So what it will do, it invokes the function immediately and allows you to pass arguments one by one. Okay, so I mean to say it takes the first parameter as a this argument, correct, and also it takes the another args, right? So suppose if we are trying to call a function f1, right, it contains a comma b comma c, right? So whenever if we are trying to call f1 dot call, okay, this argument we have to pass. Along with that, if we pass any arguments or any arguments, whatever we will pass, right, what it will do, it will treat as arguments to this f1 function. Okay, I mean to say 10 will be the argument to the first parameter A. 30 will become the, 20 will become the argument to the second parameter B. And 30 will become the argument to the third parameter C. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is the benefit we are going to get? Okay, we can use method on different objects. Correct? We'll see how it is going to be useful. Correct? So first, okay, suppose I want to get the full name of an object, which object contains the first name and last name parameters, properties, correct?
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah.
Function, full name. Okay, the object contains the properties called first name and last name. I'm going to return this dot first name plus, correct, this dot last name. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create objects, person1, which contains first name, okay, last name, okay, in order to call this function full name, what we can use? We can use the call method, right?
Yes.
Okay, what is the syntax for the call method? It is the function name dot call, okay, and for which, for this argument, first argument will act as a this. Okay, for this argument, which object you are going to refer, that you can pass.
Okay.
Okay, and others are the arguments that we want to pass to our function, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now what I will do, I will call method on this person1 object, sorry, on this full name function, correct? How we can do it? Full name dot call of, okay, which object we are going to do it, right? Which object you want to get the details?
Person.
person 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, console.log of full name. Okay, person 1 full name. So now if we refresh it, you can see Ravi and K, right?
Yeah.
So now what happened? So what happened? So what happened? So whenever we call this function, right, by using function name dot call, correct? So what object we are passing? Person 1 object, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now this person 1 will act as this object or this context inside of our person 1, sorry, full name function this. You understood?
So person 1 will act as this.
Correct. This object inside of our full name function.
Okay, okay.
Okay, yeah. Suppose what I will do, I will create one more object where 2 is equal to, right, first name Raju, okay, last name, okay. Now if we are going to call this, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take person 2 full name dot call of person 2 I'm passing. Now what happens for this person 2 will act as this object inside of our full name. Now if we are going to print this, so what I will do, if I will print console.log of this, you will be able to understand, correct?
Yeah.
Now you can see, for the first time you will see the Ravi and K. Okay, which object that we pass it to the call method as a first parameter, that will act as this context inside of that function. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the same way, the second person 2 changes since we passed the person 2 as an object, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So next, how we are going to pass arguments to this function. Okay, suppose we have a function called calculate tax, right? So what I'm going to take, I'm going to take the salary from this calculate tax. Okay, so the calculate tax will take the salary, right? And also it takes the age from the object, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so based on the age, we will have the what we can say, different tax slabs, right? Okay, so what I will consider for the age between 18 and 45, I will consider the tax slab as 10%. Okay, whoever greater than 45, I will consider as a 20%. Okay, now what I will do, if, right, this dot is greater than 18, or correct, and this dot is less than 45, correct? Return salary into 10 by 100, correct? This is our tax amount, right?
Yeah.
Okay, else return salary into how much? 20 by 100. Okay, now if I am going to calculate tax for a person, okay, so what I will do, I will take person 3 is equal to, inside that we have is, okay, age of the person. Also you have first name and age you have, okay. So the age I am making it as a 20. Okay, I want to call this tax calculation for this person 3. How we can do? Person 3 dot, right, call, correct?
Yeah. Calculate
Sorry,
tax.
deferred. Calculate function name dot call, right? Not object dot call. Okay, calculate tax dot call, for which, okay, for the inside of calculate tax, what is the, this we are going to refer. We are going to refer person this inside of my
person 3.
calculate tax, correct? Now, if I want to pass argument salary to my calculate tax, correct? I can pass 10,000. Like this we can pass. Okay, whatever the arguments that we pass to call method, apart from the first parameter, all other arguments will treat as a arguments to this function on which we called the call method. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So now the salary will have a 10,000, you will get it. Now if I print where tax is equal to now if we refresh it, you will get the tax as a 1,000, right? 10% of it is 1,000. Now, okay. Next we have apply method. Okay. The apply will also work in the similar way how call works. Okay. So what is the difference between call and apply? Okay, call will takes the arguments to the function as a comma separated list.
Okay.
Okay, apply will take the arguments as an array. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so suppose if I want to call apply method on my calculate tax, right? What I will do, where tax 2 is equal to calculate tax dot apply of, right, person 3. What I'm going to do, otherwise I will create one. Person 4 is equal to is 60. I'm calling apply method, right? So apply will take always the arguments as an array. Okay, so here salary I'm passing as 20,000. Now what we will get? 20,000 of 20% we will get as a return value. Okay, only the difference between call and apply is
that takes as
in case of
takes an
in case of call, it takes the arguments to the function as a comma separated list of parameters. Okay. Okay, in case of apply, it takes as an array. Okay, assume, yeah, correct. So I will add one more parameter, right? Country. Okay, just I will print. I won't do anything. So now in this case, here how we can do it? Comma, country name, right?
Yeah.
In this case, how we can do it? Comma, sorry, not comma. Inside of an array, we should maintain one more element. Now if we refresh it, we can see those two values. Okay. So what happens whenever we call and apply method on a function? Is the function is executing?
Yes.
Okay. Correct. Whenever we call and apply methods on the function, what happens? The function is immediately executing by passing this referenced object inside of the function as well as the arguments to the function, and if the function returns any value, it returns to it immediately, right?
Yes.
This binding. Okay, when is this binding is happening to this function? I mean to say at the time of execution or at the time of at the time of writing itself, right? So here only we will get to know that for this calculate tax, this binding to this calculate tax at this position is the person 3, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Time of this binding is happening now only whenever it is trying to call this function. Okay. So next we have the bind method we have. Okay. Tomorrow we will see about the bind method.
Okay.
Okay. So far you understood, right? Any doubts?
Yeah. No.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow we'll meet. You can go through the documents, whatever I shared with you, right?
Yeah.